All right, everybody, gather round. If you have been through a shock, if you're going through something that you don't quite understand how to get control or management over the way that you feel, I'm going to tell you that you are experiencing what happens when you go through trauma. People think that trauma means that you're lying on the ground and you've got X's on your eyes. Trauma is any event, any terrible event that overwhelms your capacity to process and cope with it at that moment. So if you've had something that happened, let's say the election, or someone said something really terrible to you, or you broke up with a loved one, that's a feeling that you're going to have in your body and it's going to feel locked in your mind. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on in your nervous system, and stay tuned. After I show you these 5 things that are going on, I'm going to tell you how to unravel them, how to help yourself to feel back to yourself and feeling powerful. Because anytime a trauma happens, it can leave us feeling powerless. The first thing that you will feel, potentially, there's 5 of them, and pick out the one that works for your personality, could be the fight response. That's where something happens, and the first thing you want to do is find someone to blame, punch something, kick something. You're going to clench your fist, and that is a physical response that your brain sends you into automatically because it's trying to keep you safe. So you have detected that something is out there that is not safe for you, and you want to be ready to fight it. Now, fight response is a very powerful response, and it can be used, but if we don't harness it, it's going to be used in different ways. It's going to go actually against yourself. So that fight response requires movement. You don't want to hit anybody. You don't want to break something. You want to take that power and get it into your body in a full way. So what does that mean? That means you go out and maybe punch a punching bag or a pillow. You clench your fist while you think about the things that you can do that will help you to resolve what's happening, and using your mind. And what happens when we go into these automatic responses, like the fight response, is oftentimes our mind shuts down a bit. And if we do not release some of that physical feeling, it will linger with you. So you'll get in your car and you'll be aggressive on the road, or you'll go and talk to your loved one, your best friend, in a nasty way, or you're going to, break something in your house. So I'm telling you, the way to harness that is to get into your body and use your body in a productive way. Go for a walk, go punch something, but not a person. Don't break anything. The next response that you might have, and stay tuned because I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to take that over a long period of time and use it. The next response is the flight response. The classic flight response is like, think of like a sitcom where, somebody says something to the teenage girl and she runs away and runs into the room and jumps on the bed and cries on the bed. It's running away from the problem. So you might be like, I'm out of here, I'm moving away. Or you may be just ignoring people who are trying to contact you, wanting to have conversations and things like that. You're just running away from the problem. That again requires that you move your body. Now, the fight response requires more of an intense movement. The flight response requires more of getting just that energy out of your body. So that's where things like yoga or dancing or stretching, just some gentle movements while you are standing in place. You are not going to run away from the issue. You're going to stand in place and you're going to move yourself into it. And again, stay tuned because I'm going to talk more about this. The next response is the freeze response. So something happens and you just freeze up. Classically, it's you got to talk in front of a bunch of people and suddenly you're frozen and you don't know what to say, and every thought flies out of your head and you can't move. Now, the freeze response can show up as, again, checking out. It can show up as just feeling trapped in your body, like you become small in your body. You feel like you're a brick inside yourself. And that requires imagining yourself as a bigger person than you are, stretching your sense of your personal boundary wider than it already is. So that's imagining, for example, that you're, as tall as a building, that you take up your space, your energy takes up this entire room. You get your brain to help you imagine things bigger than they already are. The next one is faint response. And that might be your first response may have been, I'm going to bed, I'm not waking up for 24 hours, or I'm going to, do something to help me to feel better, drinking or smoking or something. And that's really a way of checking out and not dealing with whatever it is. But the problem is that when you come out of it, you're going to have to deal with it. So you want to allow yourself to rest. And the best way to rest is sleep, but only for a short period of time. Take a short nap. Second best way is meditations, long meditations, preferably do some guided meditations. And there's a bunch of them on YouTube that are very good that just guide you through, I'm healing, I'm moving through this. And then the final one is the fawn response. And that's where you feel so threatened by a person or an institution that you feel that you have to kind of go along to get along. And so you are deferential. You just, where can I fit in? How can I be part of this? And sometimes, for example, if you see somebody being bullied, you might try to get on the bully side so that the bully doesn't target you. All of these responses are ways that your body and your brain are trying to keep you safe from the danger. You're going to fight it out. You're going to run away. You're going to freeze up. You're going to faint and just, not be in the picture, or you're going to fawn. The freeze one, by the way, is about like if you were an animal and there was a predator after you, a lot of animals will freeze up so that the predator doesn't see movement. This is a very basic instinctual response. So what do you do about these? Because they do last. You have to get into your body. You have to move your body. In the process of moving your body in the way that you need to release that energy, you need to be getting into your mind. So you want to be talking to yourself. You want to be using imagination. You want to be using tools that help you to think bigger about yourself and thinking more powerfully about yourself and the situation. Essentially, if you want to be resilient, you must be able to harness the energy that you already have. And then you must talk yourself into using that energy towards the things that are going to serve you. What happens to many of us is we take that energy that is meant to protect us and keep us safe, and we attack ourselves with it. So we become so stressed that we cannot function because we are so upset. One of the most common things to happen after you have that physical response is it turns into sadness, depression, feeling helpless. And that's because you have not released that energy and exhibited the power that you could have with that energy to heal, to protect yourself, and to make the changes that you want to see. I'm Jennifer with Bounce Back Generation. We create and share tools for young people who are highly stressed out in order to get stronger and build resilience. Please subscribe and follow because there's a lot more to come. Do not ever give up. Do not ever feel like the story is over. This story is not over until you say it's over. And do not say it's over because it is not. And you're going to get stronger. Stick with me, and I'm going to show you how. Thanks.